Hey guys, Hink here. Today we're going to be talking about manual stretches. There's been a lot on the blogs and whatnot about injuries from it, and so I'm going to give you my perspective. Is it safe or not? Is it something we should still be recommending? Let's get through it today. All right, guys. So once again, it's Hink here. I'm actually a real medical doctor. I break through a lot of different like enlargement, elongation techniques, and I actually have a pretty good scientific background. So maybe some of the stuff will make sense, maybe not. But listen to it, hear what I have to say, okay? And so manual stretches. So basically, what is it? So a manual stretch is basically when you take your member and you basically apply just tension with your hand, okay? It's manual because you're using your hands, okay? And it doesn't involve a device like an extender or whatnot. It's cheap because it's free. All it takes is some time, and it's very popular, okay? However, there's been some posts in the different blogs about guys that have like injured themselves or think they've injured themselves. And so there's more of a kind of a stink about like, oh, manual stretches. I even saw some guys to go so far as to say that manual stretches should be taken out of any kind of beginner routine and anything like that. And so I'm going to give my take on it. So I have to give my hats off to this guy here. I'll put his username and what he posted here, but he just did a survey because there's all this stuff about manual stretches, are they safe or not? And in his poll results, at least at the time I'm making this video, of like maybe like roughly 70 people that responded, 54 of them never been injured, okay? 15 with very minor injuries. There was 4 with maybe an injury that lasted about a month, and there was only 1 with like 1 major injury that lasted more than 6 months, okay? And so to me, those are very promising rates. Is it safe? No, none of this crap is safe, and that's why I'm trying to teach you guys like how to do this stuff more safely, at least from my perspective, from a medical perspective. But overall, this survey is just, whatever. It's one Reddit survey. Who knows how much weight to put behind it? But I just truly don't think it's as dangerous as like all of these guys are making it out to be, okay? Now, something like jelqing, to me, that is actually dangerous. I think there are a lot of guys that injure themselves. Most of my clients that are engaging in any kind of PE that actually, once again, believe it or not, don't injure themselves from just masturbating alone, have injured themselves by something like jelqing, okay? I actually don't have that many clients that have injured themselves through manual stretches. That being said, I do have some. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I have like 55 clients right now, and there's definitely a smattering that have hurt themselves from manual stretching, but there's also some that have hurt themselves by actually quite a bit from pumping as well. Most of them are from jelqing. And so, one of these days I'm actually gonna like go through my analytics and make a video on like of the people that I coach through injuries, which if you need to reach me, guys, my Patreon is like patreon.com/DocHink. Like, I can't believe there's comments in the videos that are like, how do I reach you? Like, I say it in every video. Patreon.Hink if you need to reach me. Sometimes if you make a post and I'm not in too busy of a clinic day, I will respond online. But for the most part, guys, I'm just too busy. Like, even now, I had like 78 messages from clients that I had to go through, and none of them are just like, hey, how you doing? It's like, doc, my veins are distended. These are my symptoms. What do you think I should do? And like, how is the diagnosis work? Anyways, I'm rambling, okay? So that's just to say, guys, I don't have that many guys that injure themselves from manual stretches, okay? I say this all the time, but it's like there's a correlation between ice cream and drowning. Manual stretches are the most easily available and one of the most common things that's recommended amongst like all the blogs. So there's going to be the highest number of people doing it. And so because there's more people doing it, you're going to be more prone to injury. Just because there's more people eating ice cream in the summertime, it doesn't mean that ice cream leads to drownings, okay? That being said, it is not a foolproof exercise. Like, if you have like a hanger, for example, you can actually like just put on the hanger and know that if you're hanging 1 pound of weight, that you're hanging 1 pound of weight. Whereas if you are doing a manual stretch, there's some guys that are so excited to get going that they just like grab and pull and like feel a pop or something, or their dick goes numb and they're like, oh my God, what did I do? When in every video that I make about manuals, I say, gently grab, gently apply pressure, and gradually pull without movement, a static stretch until you feel a decent stretch, and then let go, guys. And so if you haven't seen my video on manual stretches, please check it out. I break down in detail ad nauseum how to do things safely from my perspective, okay? So a lot of these injuries are also what I would call pseudo injuries, meaning like they're doing manual stretches and they're like, oh my God, I think I injured myself. I feel soreness at my base, like of my penis. And it's like, no, you just put, tension on the suspensory ligament that you're not used to, and that's why you feel a dull ache. Give it a couple of days and it'll go away. Or, you know, some guys will say like, oh, I did manual stretches and my erection quality went down. It's like, well, dude, you were tugging on your D for like 30 minutes. Like, what do you expect? Like, that's not a real injury. And so those posts get mixed in with the guys that actually do injure themselves, and it makes the rate seem artificially higher once again, okay? But just to be clear, there are people that injure themselves from manual stretches. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that overall, I still think it's pretty safe to do, with a couple of caveats, okay? And so, like I said, I made a full guide video if you want to check it out on how I recommend doing it safely and all the important things like the anatomy, like the pudendal nerve, the neurovascular bundle, where it comes off. Like, you have to take all of these things into account when you're doing it. You can't just be like me when I started, be like, I saw something on goodlookingloser.com and I'm going to try it out, without really breaking it down and learning about it. Back when I was doing this, you know, whatever, at least there was nobody I knew about doing what I'm doing right now. So, you know, whatever, take that for what it's worth. Find me in the comments if you want to, okay? So another important caveat, guys, and like, once again, there's, you know, there's always money to be made. And I got honestly nothing but love for these guys that do this, but like most of the guys that are like, manuals need to be taken out, they need to be stricken from the record, are guys that either have an affiliate code or guys that actually like sell devices, okay? I've literally done a live with Ben from Mailhanger, okay? He's been like cool with me from the beginning. He has a great product out there, but he's a strong voice against manual stretches. And it's like, guys, there's an inherent bias. Like, he has a financial incentive to say, you know, hangers are safer than manual stretches. But I think manuals are fine, and I think they're effective if you do them correctly. And even like the Mr. ECZ, like, I don't even know how to say his name, but he actually makes great content, guys. And so, you know, some of the stuff I agree with, some of it I don't, but in general, it's a good channel to check out if you want to check out his channel as well. But once again, if you look down, he has a Total Man affiliate code, and he's like, manuals need to be stopped. And I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying, like, there's a financial incentive to say that you shouldn't be doing manuals. And so it's just something you got to keep in mind, okay? So what is my overall conclusion? Okay, I think manual stretches are safe. I think there's a big to-do. I think it's very important. Whenever safety issues are brought up, it should never be swept under the rug. I think everybody should listen. If there's any guy that has injured themselves from any exercise, anytime you read a post about a guy who injured themselves doing manual, you need to read it and take it very seriously, because it could be you, especially if you're doing any of this stuff incorrectly. But in general, I think it's very safe. I think it can be done in a very safe and effective manner. That's where I've made essentially all of my length gains. Once again, if you want to see my video on it, check it out, guys. But thanks for watching. My Patreon, Doc Hink, if you need personal injury coaching or you want my advice. I said this before, guys, I don't consider myself a PE coach. I don't do that many techniques. I don't even know how to use this vacuum hanging technique, okay? I've never done that stuff. So please, I mean, if you want my opinion on something, that's fine. But if you log on to try to get me to be like, hey, I'm trying to put on a vacuum cup, I'm having trouble, what do you recommend? I'm not gonna be able to help you. I don't know how to do it, okay? So just keep that in mind, guys. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. Until the next one, guys, peace and love, okay?